The head of the Abiola political family and the first son of the late philanthropist and politician, Lateef Kola Abiola, has issued a statement in response to the recent autobiography of former military president, General Ibrahim Babangida. The statement reads as follows. It took the former military president, General Ibrahim Babangida, an incredibly long 32 years to confirm what the whole world knew all along, that Basharun MKO Abiola, GCFR, won the 1993 presidential election. Since the book launch, there have been calls for a response from me as the head of the family. As at June 1993, many were unborn, toddlers, or teenagers with limited first-hand knowledge, let alone understanding of the facts surrounding June 12th. The colossal tragedy that unfolded thereafter that unifies us resurfaced as a result of the book launch. Furthermore, the June 12th election goes beyond MKO and family. There were so many other families directly affected and lives lost as a result of the annulment, not to mention the profound impact on the unity and economic development of our great country, Nigeria, to date. As such, it is necessary that as a family, we take more than just a cursory look into the confirmation of known facts, but also the public's response. For these reasons and the preservation of history, I and many members of the family have decided to take a bit more time before giving a substantive response. Personally, having been an active participant in the campaign, the election, and the subsequent struggle to protect the mandate, I wonder whether the question Nigerians should ask themselves is whether the country has learned any lessons from the tragic June 12 annulment. Frankly, I am not sure.
I mean, that's a pertinent question, Steve Ayorinde. He's
Absolutely.
not sure. I mean, it's good that he said that they're going to take some time to, come up with a more robust response for, the book, the memoir, A Journey in Service by the military president, Ibrahim Badamasi Babangida. But, Kola Abiola, an active participant, I believe he was about 28 years old when he led that election, planning the campaign and all of that led to that freest and fairest election in Nigeria's history, bringing MKO Abiola winner of that June 12th election. And I really do admire the fact that he has come out to speak at this time. And you know that he's also been very active in politics. In 2023, Kola Abiola ran as the presidential candidate for the People's Redemption Party. And he campaigned heavily and hoping that he would use that model which his father used at the time to win the election. Well, many more revelations ahead, I believe. Steve Ayorinde.
Absolutely, Oji. I think this is a very important development, given the position of Kola Abiola, as the head of the family of the MKO Abiola. And a lot of people, of course, have been wondering what will be his position. And I think that his position is essential, and he has released an important statement on behalf of the family. A few key things in what he has said. First is to say that the family will tarry, a while before releasing a full statement on what the position of the family will be. And you have to appreciate why that is important, given the fact that the MKO Abiola family is a large family, and they do not always speak with the same voice. So, it makes a lot of sense that the head of the family will say that let's take some more time, not just because this is about our late father and his mandate, but because several other families were involved from what he said. And I like the tone, of the statement. This is not just about us. This is also about several other families, more than 100 people, of course, killed in 1993 when that thing happened. But of course, he did make what turns out to be his own position, towards the end of the statement, to ask Nigerians that if you ask me what is my own position as Kola Abiola, my question to Nigerians will be that have we learned any lessons whatsoever? And he answers, the same question by himself, saying that he doesn't think that we've learned anything. That's a weighty thing to say, but it's also very significant for him to say, given the role, not just the role that he played in 1993, being very close to his father, being part of the campaign, and having spoken eloquently ever since. But it is also important because he has also taken some important positions, to guide against people trying to, revisionist agenda. And many of the big players today, who incidentally were present at the launch of Babangida's book, Kola Abiola, as he has some position on the roles that they played, the known and the unknown, the stated and the unstated about such people. So his point will be that have we learned any lesson? And like we did ask here, and I think I think last week or something, you have a memoir of that nature, and then the creme de la creme of politics, of military, former heads of state, etc., were all there. And then what we saw, why the family was saying that this has reopened old wounds, you are merely confirming a known fact. But what we saw were backslapping, banters, jokes, humor, and etc. And I would want to imagine that Kola Abiola will be thinking, is this what my dad deserves? Is this what Nigeria deserves, given what went down in 1993 when we had that freest and fairest election? So we will wait for the entire, for the main position of the family. But of course, we know the direction that Kola Abiola is going, and it's an important direction that he has chosen to go.
Yes, I couldn't have said it better myself. And rather than rushing to react, the family definitely took time to craft a response. And he says that it's to ensure that the conversation around June 12, of course, remains relevant in Nigeria's political discourse. And there are a lot of things that I got from that. Just reading it. First off, he touched on Babangida's delayed admission and its implications. He was trying to find out why did Babangida wait this long to acknowledge the truth? What impact does this delayed admission actually have on Nigeria's political history? And does this absolve Babangida of responsibility, or does this reinforce his role in one of Nigeria's greatest political betrayals? This admission, while significant, does really little to undo the damage that was caused by the annulment and the subsequent political instability that followed. Another thing that was important that he also mentioned was the role of younger generations and historical context. The statement, the significant portion of the population now were actually not even born when the 1993 elections were annulled. So he speaks to the fact that there needs to be proper historical documentation. IBB has already put out his own side of the story. So of course there's going to still be a lot more that is going to come out. And like you rightfully said, when that particular launch was happening, there are people that it didn't sit right with, people that had lost, loved ones. Even I think there was an interview that was done with another son of MK Abiola, who said, it didn't really sit right with us that there was a lot of banter considering what happened. And then my last point about this, again, is the lessons that were learned from June 12. When we talk about electoral malpractice and political manipulation when it comes to elections, democracy in itself, even though that's what we practice, is still very fragile, and it's still very contested, due to a lot of credibility issues. It always ends up in court. And then finally, there's the question about, okay, now that this admission has been made, is there going to be any compensation to the families? Should there be any legal implications, or is I am sorry and I am responsible enough? A lot of questions that are, of course, bearing on the minds of Nigerians, and I can only imagine for the Abiola family. But this statement is a very strong position. I love the fact that they took their time. They didn't allow themselves be carried away by all the back and forth that was going on, and they took their time and put out that position. I will continue to watch and see that story. I'm wondering, have you read the book yet?
I've read the substantial part of it.
Enjoying it so far?
Well, I mean, it's not a novel, it's a memoir.
I mean, enjoying the fact,
I know
from
what you
his
mean.
own perspective.
I'm just saying that maybe enjoyment won't be part of it. I'm very big on autobiographies and memoirs. I'll wait till I'm done with the book. And,
right.
and then,
I'm asking.
And then connect.
I have a copy of the book.
I tried to get it. I've actually gone to two. It's actually amazing. A lot of people have really gone out to.
It's not that scarce.
I went to Roving Heights, just here in Vienna. They don't have it, but that's not why we're here. I'll probably get your own
Just a quick
after.
point before we roll on. Part of the reason why Kola Abiola will be careful as the head of the family will also have to do with the fact that he once shared romantic times, moments, with the head.
You have to go there, right?
I think it is important so that we appreciate that families are involved.
So what he's trying to say that he had a romantic affair with Ibrahim Babangida's daughter while his father was in jail.
Well, I don't know about why. That's not my point. My point is that he sort of found love,
during that time,
temporarily, in the daughter of the man who annulled the election of his father. I mean, these things can be very tricky.
And it's very sensitive at the same time.
It is.
So, I mean, you're right. It's good that he did take his time.
Families absolutely are involved.
Absolutely.